Welcome to the NC Spin After Spin. Additional comments from our panelists just available on our website. I want to ask John and Chris, Governor Cooper recently issued an executive order that allowed all state agencies under his control up to 8 weeks. Employees have up to 8 weeks for paid parental leave. Now, UNC has opted to allow this leave, but some of the Council of State agencies are not going along with this benefit. What's your opinion of this leave, and should it apply evenly to all state employees or none?
Well, I think that the leave is understandably popular with many parents or potential parents. I think it is generally a good idea to be accommodating, of course. There are some jobs for which this is just harder to do than others. And for smaller Council of State offices where you don't have a whole lot of other people to step in when somebody is away, that's, I think, the challenge here. It's not a dislike of parental leave policy. It's an understanding there are situations where it's difficult to facilitate a certain leave for certain kinds of employees who are in positions where it's hard to get somebody else to do that job or bring somebody else in temporarily. I think that's what it's about.
Chris, your opinion?
Well, I think it's long overdue, and I applaud there are Republican, Steve Troxler is doing it in the Department of Agriculture. It does not split along partisan lines. I think that with enough notice, most departments are big enough that they can make accommodations and figure out how to do this. I think the governor's right. I think a lot of employees appreciate it, and I'm glad he's doing it.
So this is an additional benefit, but should it be an all or none? Should it be optional? I mean, if I'm a state employee working for a Council of State member and my Council of State member chooses not to allow me to have 8 weeks of paid parental, but the Department of Agriculture does.
Right, but the governor can't make them do that. The General Assembly has to do that.
We do not have a unitary executive, and I do think that the executive branch officials do have, in some cases, some differing needs or interests. That's all I'm saying. They might all be able to work it out ultimately, but I don't think there's anything wrong with some flexibility on these kinds of questions depending upon the job you're talking about and the office you're talking about. I don't think that's unreasonable.
So where is this headed? Is this going to become universal, do you think?
I think it will become common, and it is becoming common in the private sector too. But again, in arrangements that are somewhat flexible, it doesn't exactly have the same rigid system for every single position.
Did the university's decision on this have weigh in and have influence?
I think so, but I also hope that the Council of State members who have declined to do this, I would be more reassured if they would speak out publicly and say that they're trying to work out a more flexible plan, that they support this philosophically. Not all the ones who have declined to do this have done that.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Well, thank you for watching the After Spin. We'll have more video all during the week on ncspin.com.